All right, you get somewhere to sit down. Thank you. Hey, what's going on, Scatterbrains? Thank you for coming back to another episode of Brilliancy. My name is Travis, and I am on time. I have been doing pretty good for the last 3 weeks, I think, of making sure that my Monday video is up by noon. So I am actually recording this Monday morning because the past few days have been very difficult to find time to film. But that's a whole nother video, I guess you can say. But today I wanted to talk about something that is affecting me personally, in a sense, and that is the rise of generative artificial intelligence images. For those who aren't really sure what I'm talking about, it's the ability to generate an image using a computer. You put in a prompt and you say, I want a picture of XYZ in XYZ style, and that particular app or platform will create the image for you. Now, some of the more well-known apps that most people talk about are like your Chat GPTs. I think it's like Dwally or something with a D is another one. Mid Journey. Those are the kind of the ones that I think I hear people talk about the most. And it is affecting me as an illustrator. It definitely has reduced the amount of work that I get. But I think that AI is nothing new. Okay, we have been in the midst of an AI revolution, for lack of better words, for a while. You know, you think about going to the grocery store. 15, 20 years ago, we used to go to the grocery store. You had to go to a cashier to check you out. But now you can go through self-checkout, and that is a version of AI. Artificial intelligence is a computer being able to perform an ability. I was right the first time. Being able to perform an ability, and that is what that is. That is a computer who is now checking you out instead of a human being. And computers are slowly starting to take over jobs. Now, there are plenty of jobs that, to my knowledge, I feel like in my lifetime will never ever be able to replace a human. More so teaching, plumbers, because right now I'm waiting on a plumber to call me back because we got a situation in our bathroom. So I don't think that there's going to be a day where computers can do everything for us, because that's just not. Massage therapists, who really wants a computer to be a massage therapist? Like, you can go to the nail salon and have the machine, the chair punch you in the back a couple times, but you know, to have a full massage experience, I don't see a computer taking that over. But more specifically, I wanted to talk about my thoughts and feelings on AI illustrations. For those who don't know, I'm an illustrator. I have been illustrating children's books since 2020. Is now 2025, so I'm coming up on my 5th year of doing pictures for children's books. And within the last year, I have seen so many people opt to go the AI route instead of hiring a real illustrator. And let me say, before anybody wants to tell me, I totally get the appeal of using AI. For number one, depending on the software that you use, it's free. And most people can't really argue with free. You know, if your budget is limited for the book that you're wanting to create or the project that you're wanting to do, if you're gonna save money wherever you can. Me as an illustrator, when I do my own books, I do everything myself to save money. I could pay for an editor, or I can just do my best to edit it myself. Obviously, I'm an illustrator, so I'm not gonna have somebody else do it. And I'm a writer, so I'm not gonna have somebody like ghostwriter to pay somebody else to do it. I'm gonna do everything myself. And AI has given authors or people who wanna be authors the ability to pretty much do an entire book without the need for an illustrator. Now, I do not think that AI will ever replace illustrators. While we are losing work as illustrators, if I'm being honest, the people who opt to use AI, and it's no offense if I'm talking about you, the people who opt to use AI for the illustrations, they probably weren't going to want to work with a real illustrator like myself to begin with, because I'm no offense, but they're cheap. Okay, if you are opting to put a book out into the world that you want to be impactful, that you want to change lives, but you feel like you can't invest in it the way that you should, you're opting to go the cheaper route, and you have to do what you have to do for your pockets. But that wasn't my client anyway. That kind of client wasn't going to be looking towards me anyway, because a person who is wanting to create a book, the people who hire me, the people who book me, are people who are actually investing in their projects to look a certain way. They want a certain quality. I have an artist's eye, and I realize that I have an artist's eye, and I have to remind myself that everybody does not have an artist's eye. And so what that means is, for, I guess, the average consumer, they would not look at and I'm sorry, my phone is going to go off. I would silence it, but like I said, I'm waiting on the plumber to call, so I don't want to miss that, but everybody want to text me right now. The average consumer would not look at a book that was created by AI and know immediately that it was created by AI. Because if I'm being honest, some AIs look great. They look so cute, they look so fun, they look so engaging, but it's because that particular program, that particular app or platform used art from real artists to feed its computers. What essentially happens is, when they're developing these programs, they take artwork from artists and they upload all these images, videos, whatever. And then the computer reads these images, it reads these artworks, and it learns the characteristics, the qualities. The one type of AI that I think we all probably see more than anything is like Pixar adjacent. It's 3D, it's really happy, it's very cartoon-like, and that is because these computers have used Pixar's animation style, and that is what they're kind of replicating. And so for a lot of people, if I'm being honest, to pay an illustrator to do a 3D modeled illustration like that is going to be expensive. I don't do that kind of illustrations. I do two-dimensional illustrations that have depth and all of that, but definitely not on the lines of a 3D type illustration. So I understand, but it's still cheap. But the average consumer is not going to notice that your character doesn't look the same from page to page, because that's just what it is. I have yet to see, in all of the Facebook groups I'm in, and all of the posts, the Instagram, in every place where somebody is posting about, hey, I'm an author and I just put out a new book and check out my illustrations, in all the places that somebody has done that, I have yet to see a book where the character is actually consistent. So what some people have done, which is, not too bad of an idea, when they're doing their books, they use AI for books where they don't need consistency. So there was a girl, she released a book about like My Black King or something like that. And she used AI to generate illustrations of little black boys, but every picture was a different little black boy. So in those cases, I mean, you don't have to worry about if the characters look the same. The style is going to be the same, but it's not the same character. And you do what you got to do. And she's probably made a great amount of money off of it. And I can't hate the player, gotta hate the game. You know what I mean? But it's a very, very cheap way to go about it. And what bothers me more about the surge in AI is that companies are using it in their products. For example, I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. There's a major, I'm going to be looking for a picture while I'm talking. There's a major hair, a beauty supply store chain here called Tyson's. Tyson's probably has the biggest, what is happening to my pictures? Oh, here we go. Tyson's has the biggest hair stores you could ever think of. Think about like Walmart, but it's just weaves, wigs, hair gels, hair grease, combs, brushes, hairdresser, hair blow dryers, and like it's just everything you could imagine. And in the little girl section where they have the bows and the beads and the barrettes and all of that kind of stuff, up at the top they have all of these images of these little cute little kids. And I remember when this particular, so the camera just cut off in the middle of me talking. I don't know what the last thing was that it caught. It's a Monday, y'all, and I'm trying my best to be positive today. I am trying my best to be positive today, but just for a quick moment, it's becoming difficult for me to be positive right now. Like I got an email that a potential client has delayed their project by several months. And I told y'all work is limited right now. And so there's a good chance I'm going back to teaching in August. This video wasn't supposed to be about that, but there's a good chance I'm going back to teaching or going to some kind of regular job, because I don't know how much longer I can do this. Okay. So I don't know what the last thing was that I was saying. So I'm going to back up a little bit and I'll fix it in post. I was saying that there's a large hair care store, beauty supply store. That's the word I'm looking for. There's a large beauty supply store called Tyson's here in Charlotte. And in the section for the little girls where they have bows and barrettes and beads, they have these pictures of these cute little kids up just as decorations. And we were in there one day and I was looking, I was like, those aren't real kids. That's AI. And then the more I looked at it, it was confirmed because the AI has a certain look. Like the kids will only have like one ear. And it's like you have this up in your store, kids with one ear. And it's not like there's hair covering the ear. No, it's just a picture like this. Just you see the ear and then there's no ear on the other side. Now, it could be an amputee ear, but the way that it was presented, it clearly is not. But it's kind of like companies are going the cheap route. All right, the camera cut off again. And y'all, I'm struggling. We're gonna keep pushing forward. So I'm gonna change the memory card and everything. So as I was saying, companies are going the cheap route. They are opting to use AI instead of real illustrators. We were in Primark the other day and I walked past a section where they have like little toys and stuff. And like I said, I have an illustrator's eye, I have an artist's eye. I can spot AI very easily, especially lazy AI. And this was a picture of a basketball like set thing. I'm trying to keep it in focus, but like it might not be. You gonna catch up to me? Okay, so no. Anyway, this is a picture of a basketball set. It was like a hoop and a ball in the store. But then when I looked at it, I looked closer, I was like, this is definitely AI, because look at the basketball. Basketballs don't have lines like this. And those are the little things that a computer doesn't know. A computer won't correct in the moment. This is not a picture a real person would draw. No matter your skill level, you would not have extra lines. If you're able to do shading and all of this, you would not have simple mistakes like this. And I think we all know AI can't, hands and AI, that is one of the telltale signs. Speaking of that, I'm probably not gonna be able to find a picture very quickly. This past Christmas season, for y'all know, I have a line of Christmas wrapping paper. I was in talks of being Walmart and all of that kind of good stuff. And there's another company who it's a forever, I'm not gonna say it's forever middle finger to, but if I use that kind of language, I would say that, because they got slick with my wife on Facebook when my wife was trying to promote my stuff. But they are in Sam's Club. I'm not gonna say their name, I'm not gonna give them any kind of promotion. They got their Black Santa stuff in Sam's Club. It looks absolutely horrible and lazy, but it's there. They had an AI Santa on their display. And the reason we know that is because Santa's thumb was either missing or it was in the wrong place. And it bothers me, because you're a company, going off on a tangent, you're a company, pro-black, whatever, you want people to support your black business with your black Santa and everything, but you couldn't find a black real Santa to take promotional pictures for you. As many older black men that are out here who dress up as Santa during the year for photo shoots and all of that kind of stuff, you couldn't book a real one to take pictures for you to use promotionally for your stuff. But you want, like, that's the part that kind of irritates me when it comes to companies and using AI. Like, it's lazy and it's cheap, and unfortunately the average consumer don't care. Now, am I 100% against AI? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. AI is a tool that can be used for the betterment of illustrations. And that's just being honest. Like, for example, Grammarly is an AI platform that helps writers. But you don't want to use AI to do whatever it is that you're trying to do for you. Like, you should not be using AI to write a whole book for you. That's lazy. Like, if you're gonna don't call yourself an author if a computer wrote the book for you and all you did was say, write a story about a boy who finds a bone. Like, that's lazy. So when it comes to illustrations, I have used AI before, but not in the way that you think. When I am illustrating books, there may be times where I need to illustrate a particular scene and I can't really visualize what a person is doing in my head if I've never done it myself. So what I used to do is I would go to Google and I say, woman holding hair blow dryer. Just using that as an example because I need a reference. Artists use references every day. Before computers, your Pablo Picasso's, your Da Vinci's, they would use human references to study the human form, to see how a human poses, how a human stands, proportions of a human. Like, you need a reference to make it look real. Animators, when you look back at the old Disney films that were drawn by hand, they used human references to see how to draw the particular characters. So long ago as Princess and the Frog. Princess and the Frog shot certain scenes using a human actress. She's actually the lady that's on Organized Crime. The black character on Organized Crime, they used her as the human reference so they knew how to draw Princess Tiana. That is a normal practice in creating art. So that is how I use AI. So if I need a visual reference on what would it look like if a character was doing this, and that's not my first go-to, I will try to sketch it out. And if it still doesn't quite make sense, I'll go to Google and see if I can find a real life image of it. And if not, then I'll ask AI, create an image of a person doing XYZ. And I'll look at a study and say, oh, okay, I need to do this, I need to draw this way. And then I am redrawing it using that as a reference. I'm not tracing it, I'm not copying it, it's just a reference. Even authors that I've worked with who we're trying to get on the same page for a particular image that I'm creating for them. One of the books that I just recently finished, we were working on the cover and she felt like I just was not able to fully create what she saw in her mind, which is a very difficult thing to do. That's probably one of the hardest parts of being an illustrator. Illustrating something for somebody who has a clear vision for what they want. It is very hard sometimes for people to articulate what they see in their brain verbally so that I can draw it, you know what I mean? And so what she did, she used AI, plugged in different keywords. I don't know how many times she rendered it, but she came up with something close enough to what she was seeing in her brain and sent that to me. I was like, hey, this is what I kind of see in my head. And I was like, oh, okay, because what she was originally explaining, communication is key and the way we use words is different. What she was originally communicating, that's not what I saw in my head because this is my brain. How I see the world is how I see it. So we used AI as a bridge to get us to the destination. And what I came up with was exactly what she wanted. It looks great. The book will be out sometime soon. So in those instances, AI is fine. Using it as a reference, but not using it as the final product. But you do what you want to do. So I don't really know where we're going with AI. It does give me a little bit of concern because I see videos that are clearly AI, but people don't realize that they're AI and they use that as fact. And I think that that's going to cause us a lot of issues down the line, but it's not 100% terrible, but it should not be 100% relied on. You know, I probably had a whole lot more I wanted to say in this video, but the fact that this camera kept cutting off really has ticked me off. So I at least got the video done. I landed the plane. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this edited and get this up to y'all so y'all can see it at 12 noon. I appreciate everybody who has been watching my channel thus far, who has supported me. This is a struggle to be back on YouTube starting at square one. You know, I remember the days of having thousands of views, and the last the videos that I have most recently posted this year, they're not even cracking 300. And it's difficult, but I'm trying to stay committed to being consistent and, you know, just see where it goes. Yeah, so I appreciate those who are my consistent watchers. I really do appreciate y'all. So if you can remember to like the video, comment something, you know, even if you don't really have anything to say, just say thanks for posting, you know, just something, because I'm trying to learn what this new algorithm is. That's AI too. Trying to figure out what this new algorithm is on YouTube and how to use it to my benefit. But like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Share this video wherever you can or wherever you think it might be important, and leave comments telling me the next few videos that I should do. I still have some other ideas that I gotta film, but thank y'all for watching. I'm gonna go take a deep breath and try not to let this mess up the rest of my day. All right, I'll be talking to y'all soon. Peace. Oh my gosh.